My name's Sergeant Pepper, and you're probably wondering how we got here. I'm not talking about this dingy cell, or even this forsaken planet. I'm talking about the colossal mess we're in, the galactic scale clusterfudge that's turned Earth into a war zone. Buckle up, rookie, 'cause this ain't your average interspecies bar fight. We weren't always these things. Mutated, yeah, that's the word the eggheads like to throw around. Monstrosities, aberrations, abominations, we've heard it all. But before the change, we were just dogs. Loyal companions, best friends, the goodest boys. I remember my human, Sarah. She was a scientist, a damn good one. She had this spark in her eyes, a thirst for knowledge that I swear could power a whole city. I'd follow her to the ends of the earth, even if she only wanted to fetch a cup of coffee. But then the change hit. It wasn't a bang, not a whimper, more like a whisper in the wind that grew into a roar. It started with the stray dogs. They went feral, aggressive. Then our domesticated buddies, the couch potatoes, the lapdogs, they started changing too. Growing taller, stronger, smarter. Their barks turned into words, their paws into hands. Sarah, she was working on a cure. A retrovirus, she called it. She locked herself in her lab, working day and night. But it was too late. The change had spread like wildfire. I woke up one morning, and I wasn't just Pepper anymore. I was Sergeant Pepper, leader of the pack. I had a tactical mind, a thirst for battle, and a whole lot of fur to shed. The world went to hell in a handbasket. Humans panicked, they fought back, but we were too many, too strong. We weren't mindless beasts anymore, we had a strategy, a goal. We wanted to survive, to protect our new home. Then the aliens came. The Krellians, they called themselves. They looked like overgrown insects, with 6 limbs, bulging eyes, and a penchant for destruction. They came in their massive ships, raining fire on our cities, our homes. They thought we were easy prey, just a bunch of mutated mutts. They were wrong. We fought back with everything we had. We used our speed, our agility, our sharp teeth and claws. We learned their technology, their tactics. We became a force to be reckoned with. We weren't just defending Earth, we were defending our right to exist. We pushed them back, inch by inch, city by city. We formed alliances with other mutated animals, the cats, the birds, even the damn squirrels. We became a united front, a force of nature. We were the canine corps, the protectors of Earth. And that's how we got here, rookie. We're not just fighting for survival, we're fighting for a future, for a world where we're not just tolerated, but respected. A world where dogs, mutated or not, are more than just man's best friend. We're Earth's last hope. Now, let's get you out of this cell and back on the battlefield. We've got a planet to save. The bars weren't metal, but some kind of organic goo that the Krellians fancied. I sniffed it once, nearly gagged. It reeked of sulfur and something else, something primal, alien. But it wasn't holding me for long. A few well-placed scratches, a couple of growls that shook the slime, and I was out. I found the rookie, cowering in the corner. He was young, barely out of puppyhood. His fur was still patchy, his eyes wide with terror. I nudged him with my snout, a gesture of reassurance that I hoped transcended species. Up and at him, soldier, I barked. We've got a war to win. He scrambled to his feet, a mix of fear and determination in his eyes. We made our way through the labyrinthine corridors of the Krellian ship, avoiding patrols, sniffing out escape routes. It was like a game of hide and seek, only the stakes were a tad higher. We found an airlock, blasted it open, and jumped. The frigid vacuum of space hit us like a brick wall, but our mutated bodies were built for this. We tucked into a tight ball, conserving heat, using our enhanced senses to navigate towards the nearest friendly ship. The canine core vessel was a sight for sore eyes, a hodgepodge of salvaged human and alien tech, held together by sheer grit and doggy determination. We clambered aboard, greeted by a chorus of barks and howls. "Pepper, you mangy mutt, you made it!" A voice boomed. It was Major Mutt, a hulking mastiff with a cybernetic eye and a penchant for dramatic entrances. "Wouldn't miss it for the world, Mutt," I replied, grinning. "And I brought a new recruit." The rookie, still shivering from the space jump, managed a timid wag of his tail. Mutt clapped him on the back, nearly sending him flying. "Welcome to the pack, kid," Mutt barked. "Now, let's go kick some Krellian butt." We joined the fray, a whirlwind of fur and fury. The Krellians were taken aback by our ferocity, our tactical prowess. We were a pack, a family, fighting for our home, our lives. I led a charge through their ranks, my claws tearing through chitinous armor, my teeth sinking into insectoid flesh. The rookie wasn't far behind, his initial fear replaced by a primal rage. He was a natural, a born fighter. We pushed them back, inch by inch, limb by limb. Their ships, their weapons, their technology, it all meant nothing against the raw power of evolution. We were the underdogs, the mutts, the ones they underestimated. But we were also the survivors, the fighters, the protectors of Earth. The battle raged for hours, days, weeks. We fought on land, in the air, even in the depths of the ocean. We adapted, we evolved, we learned. We became a force of nature, a canine storm that swept the Krellians away. In the end, they retreated, their ships limping away like wounded insects. We had won, against all odds. But our victory was bittersweet. We had lost many good dogs, brave souls who had given their lives for a better future. We mourned our fallen, their howls echoing across the ravaged landscape. But we also celebrated, our barks of joy reaching the stars. We had defended our home, our pack, our right to exist. As I stood on the battlefield, surrounded by my fellow soldiers, I couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. We were no longer just dogs, we were heroes. We had saved Earth, not for humans, not for aliens, but for ourselves. And as I looked at the rookie, his eyes shining with newfound confidence, I knew that our story was far from over. We had a new world to build, a new future to forge. We were the canine core, and we were here to stay. Earth wasn't the same. Cities lay in ruins, overgrown with mutated flora that glowed with an eerie luminescence. But life found a way, as it always does. Packs of mutated dogs patrolled the streets, their eyes glowing in the twilight, their barks echoing through the shattered concrete canyons. We rebuilt what we could, adapting human technology to our canine needs. We scavenged, we innovated, we created a new society, one where dogs ruled. We established a council of elders, composed of the wisest and most experienced dogs from various breeds. I was among them, a grizzled veteran, my fur streaked with grey, my scars a testament to my battles. But peace was fleeting. The Krellians returned, not with an invasion force, but with an emissary. A sleek, serpentine creature, its chitinous exoskeleton shimmering with iridescent colors. It slithered into our makeshift council chamber, its multiple eyes blinking in the dim light. "We come in peace," it hissed, its voice a grating rasp. "We seek an alliance." The council was skeptical, their hackles raised. I, however, was intrigued. An alliance with the Krellians? It seemed impossible, ludicrous even. But desperate times called for desperate measures. We listened to their proposal. They offered us technology, knowledge, a chance to explore the stars. In return, they wanted our help. Their homeworld was under attack by a far more powerful enemy, a race of energy beings known as the Void. The Void were the stuff of nightmares, entities of pure darkness, consuming everything in their path. They were the reason the Krellians had fled their homeworld, the reason they had sought refuge on Earth. But now, they were desperate, willing to make a deal with the very creatures they had once tried to conquer. The council debated for days, their arguments echoing through the halls. But in the end, we made a decision. We would join forces with the Krellians, not as allies, but as partners. We would fight together, not for conquest, but for survival. We sent a delegation to their homeworld, a ragtag group of dogs, cats, birds, and squirrels, led by yours truly. We traveled through the stars, our ship a beacon of hope in the vastness of space. We arrived at a world in ruins, a desolate landscape scarred by the Void's touch. We met with the Krellian leaders, their desperation palpable. They showed us their technology, their weapons, their strategies. But it was clear, they were losing. We offered our help, our knowledge of guerrilla warfare, our adaptability, our sheer tenacity. We taught them to fight like us, to think like us, to survive like us. And then, the twist. We discovered that the Void weren't just mindless destroyers. They were sentient, intelligent, and they had a message for us. They weren't our enemies, they claimed. They were a force of balance, a necessary evil. They were here to cleanse the universe of a greater threat, a parasitic race known as the Puppeteers. The Puppeteers were the true masters of the Krellians, manipulating them from the shadows, using them as pawns in their galactic game. They were the ones who had instigated the war with Earth, hoping to weaken both sides and reap the benefits. The Void were our only hope, our only chance to break free from the Puppeteers' control. But to defeat them, we had to work together, dogs and Krellians, predators and prey. We had to become something more than just survivors. We had to become liberators. The revelation shattered our perceptions. The Krellians, once our enemies, were now victims, just like us. The Void, once a terrifying force of destruction, were now potential allies. The puppeteers, lurking in the shadows, were the true villains. Our mission changed overnight. We weren't just fighting for survival, we were fighting for freedom, for the right to determine our own destinies. We formed a coalition, a united front against the puppeteers. We shared our knowledge, our tactics, our strengths. The Krellians, with their advanced technology and knowledge of the puppeteers, were invaluable. The Void, with their immense power and enigmatic motives, were a wild card. We launched a series of covert operations, striking at the puppeteers' strongholds, disrupting their networks, freeing their slaves. We discovered that the puppeteers were not a single race, but a conglomerate of parasitic entities, controlling countless species across the galaxy. Our actions earned us enemies, but also allies. We forged alliances with other rebel factions, species who had also suffered under the puppeteers' tyranny. We became a beacon of hope, a symbol of resistance. But the puppeteers were not easily defeated. They struck back with ruthless efficiency, using their vast resources and control over countless worlds to crush our rebellion. We suffered setbacks, losses, betrayals. But we persevered, driven by our shared desire for freedom. Our war against the puppeteers took us to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, to strange worlds and stranger civilizations. We encountered sentient plants, crystalline beings, even sentient machines. We learned to communicate, to negotiate, to fight alongside them. We discovered ancient artifacts, lost technologies, forgotten knowledge. We uncovered the puppeteers' secrets, their weaknesses, their vulnerabilities. We learned that they weren't invincible, that they could be defeated. The final battle took place on a desolate moon, a barren wasteland where the puppeteers had established their ultimate stronghold. We came in force, a coalition of countless species, united in our hatred for the puppeteers. The battle was fierce, brutal, a clash of civilizations. We fought with everything we had, using every weapon, every tactic, every ounce of our strength. We lost many good soldiers, brave souls who sacrificed themselves for the greater good. But in the end, we prevailed. We breached the puppeteers' defenses, destroyed their central control node, and freed their countless slaves. The puppeteers, weakened and exposed, were finally defeated. The galaxy rejoiced, liberated from their tyranny. We had won, against all odds. But our victory was not without cost. We had lost many friends, many comrades, many loved ones. But we had also gained something far more precious, something worth fighting for. We had gained our freedom. As I stood on the moon, surrounded by the survivors, I looked up at the stars. I knew that our journey was far from over. There were still threats out there, still injustices to fight. But I also knew that we were ready, we were strong, we were united. We were the Canine Corps, and we were the guardians of the galaxy. The revelation of the puppeteers' manipulation sent shockwaves through the Krellian ranks. Their insect-like faces, usually stoic and impassive, contorted with a mix of rage and shame. They had been puppets, dancing to the strings of unseen masters. Now, they were determined to cut those strings, no matter the cost. Our coalition grew stronger, fueled by a shared sense of betrayal and a thirst for vengeance. We infiltrated puppeteer-controlled worlds, inciting rebellions, sabotaging their infrastructure, and liberating their slaves. We discovered that the puppeteers' influence extended far deeper than we had imagined, reaching into the highest echelons of power across the galaxy. The puppeteers retaliated with a vengeance, unleashing their full might upon us. Their fleets, once hidden in the shadows, emerged from hyperspace, raining fire upon our ships. Their armies, composed of countless enslaved species, marched across planets, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. We fought back with everything we had, our canine ferocity bolstered by Krellian technology and the Void's enigmatic power. We won battles, but the war seemed endless, a bloody stalemate. Then, a breakthrough. We intercepted a puppeteer transmission, a coded message revealing their ultimate plan, to assimilate all sentient life in the galaxy, to create a hive mind under their absolute control. The message also revealed a vulnerability, a weakness in their central control node, a nexus point where their collective consciousness resided. If we could destroy it, we could shatter their control, liberate the galaxy. But the nexus was located in the heart of their most heavily fortified world, a fortress planet bristling with defenses and guarded by their most loyal servants. It was a suicide mission, a one-way ticket to oblivion. But we had no choice. We assembled a strike team, the best of the best, a diverse group of warriors from countless species. I led the K9 Corps contingent, my loyal pack at my side. We were joined by Credian commandos, their exoskeletons gleaming with deadly weaponry. And at our side, a shadowy figure, a representative of the void, its motives as inscrutable as ever. We infiltrated the fortress planet, using stealth, cunning, and a healthy dose of K9 ingenuity. We fought our way through legions of puppeteer-controlled guards, our claws and teeth tearing through flesh and metal alike. We reached the central control node, a pulsating mass of organic circuitry, humming with a sinister energy. We planted our explosives, set the timers, and prepared for the end. As the countdown reached 0, we braced ourselves for the blast. But instead of an explosion, a blinding light engulfed us. We were transported, not to oblivion, but to a strange, ethereal realm. We found ourselves standing before a colossal entity, a being of pure energy, radiating an aura of immense power and wisdom. It was the void, not as a destructive force, but as a sentient being, the embodiment of a cosmic balance. It spoke to us, its voice echoing in our minds, explaining its true purpose. The void was not our enemy, but a guardian, a force that sought to maintain the delicate equilibrium of the universe. The puppeteers, with their insatiable thirst for control, were a threat to that balance. The void had chosen us, the K9 Corps, the Credians, and our allies, to be its agents of change, its warriors of balance. We had been tested, tempered in the fires of war, and found worthy. We returned to the material realm, our bodies glowing with a newfound power. The puppeteers' control was shattered, their empire crumbling. The galaxy was free. But our journey was far from over. We had a new role to play, a new purpose to fulfill. We were the guardians of balance, the protectors of the galaxy. And as I looked at my fellow warriors, I knew that we were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. We returned to Earth as heroes, celebrated across the galaxy for our role in defeating the puppeteers. But our work was far from over. The scars of war ran deep, and the galaxy was still reeling from the puppeteers' influence. Earth, once a battleground, was now a sanctuary, a haven for refugees from war-torn worlds. We welcomed them with open paws, offering shelter, food, and a chance to rebuild their lives. We shared our knowledge, our technology, our culture, creating a melting pot of species, a testament to the resilience of life. The K9 Corps, once a ragtag band of mutated dogs, evolved into a peacekeeping force, a galactic guardian. We patrolled the stars, protecting the innocent, upholding justice, and maintaining the balance. Our ships, adorned with the symbol of a paw print, became a familiar sight across the cosmos, a symbol of hope and protection. But our new role came with its own challenges. The galaxy was vast, filled with countless dangers, both seen and unseen. We faced pirates, rogue factions, and ancient evils lurking in the shadows. We also faced internal struggles. The trauma of war lingered, haunting our dreams, fueling our anxieties. We lost some of our own to PTSD, their minds shattered by the horrors they had witnessed. We established support networks, counseling programs, and healing centers, but the scars ran deep. We also faced the challenge of maintaining our own identity, our canine nature, in the face of galactic diversity. We were no longer just dogs, but ambassadors, diplomats, leaders. We had to learn to navigate the complex web of interstellar politics, to balance our instincts with diplomacy, our ferocity with compassion. But we persevered, guided by our core values, loyalty, courage, and a deep-seated love for life. We adapted, we evolved, we learned. We became more than just dogs, we became a symbol of hope, a beacon of light in a galaxy still recovering from darkness. Our journey took us to the farthest reaches of space, to worlds beyond imagination. We encountered sentient nebulae, living stars, and ancient beings who had witnessed the birth of the universe. We learned about the history of the galaxy, the rise and fall of empires, the cyclical nature of conflict and peace. We discovered that the puppeteers were not the first, nor would they be the last, to seek galactic domination. There were other forces at play, other threats lurking in the cosmic shadows. We learned that our role as guardians of balance was not just a duty, but a destiny. We were the protectors of life, the champions of freedom, the defenders of the galaxy. And as I looked out at the vast expanse of stars, I knew that our journey had just begun. The K9 Corps, once just a band of mutated dogs, had become something more, something greater. We were the guardians of the galaxy, and we were here to stay. Peace, however, was an illusion. A distress signal echoed through the cosmos, emanating from a remote corner of the galaxy. A colony of sentient plants, known as the Verdanti, had gone silent. Their lush, vibrant world, a beacon of harmony and tranquility, had fallen into a state of decay and corruption. I led a reconnaissance mission to investigate, accompanied by a team of seasoned veterans, both canine and Krellian. What we found chilled us to the bone. The verdantee were withering, their once vibrant foliage turning a sickly brown, their harmonious songs replaced by mournful wails. A dark presence permeated the planet, a malevolent energy that twisted and corrupted everything it touched. We soon discovered its source, a pulsating mass of shadows, a sentient entity of pure darkness, a being we came to know as the Blight. The Blight was the antithesis of the Void, a force of chaos and destruction, feeding on the life force of living beings, leaving behind a trail of despair and decay. It had infected the verdantee, twisting their nature, turning them against each other. We fought back, our weapons and technology useless against the Blight's intangible form. We were outmatched, overpowered, driven back by its relentless onslaught. In desperation, we turned to the Void for help. It responded, not with an army, but with a warning. The Blight was a primordial force, an ancient evil that predated even the universe itself. It was a parasite, feeding on the fear and despair of sentient beings, growing stronger with every act of violence and destruction. To defeat the Blight, we had to confront it, not with weapons, but with light, with hope, with love. We had to unite, not just as species, but as beings of light, beacons of hope in a universe consumed by darkness. We rallied the verdantee, the remnants of their once proud civilization. We shared our stories, our struggles, our triumphs. We showed them that even in the face of darkness, hope could still bloom. Together, we faced the Blight, not with weapons, but with a chorus of songs, a symphony of light, a wave of love. The Blight recoiled, its shadowy form flickering and fading. But it was not defeated, merely weakened. It retreated, vowing to return, to consume the galaxy in its darkness. We knew then that our fight was far from over. The Blight was a threat unlike any we had ever faced, a force of pure evil that could not be defeated by conventional means. We returned to Earth, battered but not broken. We shared our findings with the Council, the leaders of the galaxy. We warned them of the Blight, its power, its insidious nature. The galaxy listened, but fear and doubt lingered. Some dismissed the Blight as a myth, a phantom of our imaginations. Others saw it as a harbinger of doom, a sign of the universe's inevitable decline. But we knew the truth. The Blight was real, and it was coming. And we, the Canine Corps, the guardians of the galaxy, were the only ones who could stop it. But were we strong enough? Could we overcome the darkness, or would we be consumed by it? The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance.